Hey everyone, you're watching Ash on Comics. I'm Ash. Here's today's comic, Unexpected number 4. It's a little late on my review. I haven't been doing some reviews lately. My life's been kind of busy and hectic and just haven't been able to do them. Sorry about that. Not that I have so many people I'm letting down, I apologize. But even one person who wants to watch, I hope I'm not wasting your time. Let's just get into this one. Long story short, this isn't great. You can see right here, if we remember where we last left off, the Unexpected crew were facing off against, oh shoot, God, what's her name? I just blanked on her name. The Huntress. Jeez. Yeah, I don't like this character. So they're facing off against the Huntress, and they're in Gotham. They're still trying to get rid of this super isotope nth metal that they have that can destroy all of creation. And yeah, that's where it's at. Take a look at this. This is the art. I'm kind of disappointed. Yeah, to say the least. Who's the artist on this? Are they still doing it in the back? They are. Cary Nord still. And it has the same styling as I thought it was, but this looks cheap. This is like cereal box comics art. If you're old like me and you can remember back in those days. I like Cary Nord's visual styling, but I do not like this comic. I also don't like this layout here, where we go across the top, we got this fight. This seriously lost me. I was reading, and then I read to here, and then I read to here, and instinctually, I went down to here, and then I was like, oh shoot, wait, and it threw me off. You should try to avoid doing this, and this wasn't necessary. This could have been here, but if you did want to do it here and you wanted to blow it up, extend the panels over, make it a little bit more clear. I know this is like nitpicking, but sequential storytelling is extremely important in comic books. When you throw the reader off, when they have to stop and go, wait, what's going on? It seems really trivial, but that detracts from your book. And you want to avoid every little thing you can from detracting from your book, especially when you're not top tier writing and top tier art. You know, when you're struggling to gain your audience, focus on the fundamentals. Don't make those little mistakes. You know, if you got a fan base that just will gobble down anything you have, like Rob Liefeld in the 90s, you could make fun of that guy's art all day long. There were so many problems, but it didn't matter. His fans ate it up. And I'm not here to bash on Rob Liefeld. I like the guy, but you see my point. If you aren't that, if you aren't Jim Lee with Chris Claremont and the X-Men, focus on the fundamentals. You need all the help you can get. And this seems like Cary Nord was on some deadlines or something, because it's not awful art, it's just really just sort of slapped down. There are some good not paneling, but the layouts here, the visual storytelling on this fight. I just wish the detail was better. Don't sacrifice one for the other. Look at this here, you have a full page. Whenever you have a full page, there should always be more detail, because it's essentially one panel. And this is just so basic. This took an hour or two to draw, maybe an hour. If this took more than an hour to draw, I'd be amazed. So we get, long story short here, we have the Unexpected crew fighting Huntress and the Signal, and of course, just like normal, it's like, okay, wait, why are we fighting? We're on the same team, blah, 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 blah. Signal, whose powers I am not real familiar with. I guess he's able to see something in light. Well, I don't know. I'm so uninterested in this character, I can't even tell you. But whatever. So he looks at this nth metal and he sees this vision, which I presume this character here is him. But I can't be 100% sure. And again, that's bad. Like, I kind of should know who they're talking about. They also mentioned that there's a judge of all evil. Is this guy the judge of all evil? And who is that? Here he is fighting Samaritan. They mention, somewhere they mentioned that they were back in, oh yeah, here, Earth 1927. Which I was like, okay, great, Earth 1927. But then in this dialogue down here, they talk about, where I don't know where exactly it is, but they talk about, I don't know if I was looking in the future or the past. And now I'm confused again as a reader, going, wait a second, I thought we were seeing something from the past. So it's meant to, all of this is meant to obfuscate things for the reader, to keep the reader not knowing what's going on. Which sometimes works in your favor, because you want to keep the reader guessing, so they're keep reading the book, going, oh, what's going to happen? But when you do it in this manner, where you just artificially blurry up things and make it so they can't, that's not interesting. That just becomes annoying. So here they are in the Bat Cove in Gotham Harbor, and we see Neon make a little quip about, funny, I always thought Batman had a cave. Okay, it wasn't meant to be a huge joke, so I forgive it, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's some dialogue in the book. I was kind of eyes glazing over. One of the things about this book, I gotta tell you, with this whole nth metal thing and the way they talk about things, I don't know if it's just because I did not read through all the metal stuff, but I have a hard time following what's going on. I'm already behind the 8 ball because I'm not a big DC person, historically. I just got into DC this year. So I don't know even who a lot of the characters are, don't know much about the universe. I'm catching up, but, it's a process. I don't know about metal, really. And you have all this talk, and they write it in the sense that, like, whoever's reading this is, Simpsons comic book nerd. And that's bad. You need to write it as if this was someone's first comic book. And I know some people say, well, that's annoying. They don't want to have to read through that. But it's important. People are picking up a comic for the first time. And I'm not talking about writing for the trade. I'm talking about, like, writing for the super geek. And maybe I'm being a little over-exaggerating here. But there were times where I was just like, oh, what? Let me reread this again. What? Anyways, so I'm still trying to follow along because I am genuinely interested in this book. I don't want to, I'm not trying to trash this book. I personally, subjectively, am still interested in this book. I'm going to keep buying it. But I'm trying to portray this to you from more of an objective standpoint. I can't assume that your interest in the book is the same as mine. Hold on, Zach cough. Man, sorry about that. Zach doesn't cough like that. So, we get these characters are never really quite jiving together. They're still constantly bickering, and they're trying to figure out what the synth metal is, and they're examining it, and so, bicker, hands off, I don't know. Alright, so, they're still doing it, and Lord Sin's gonna come here any moment. Oh, rumble, what's going on? I don't know what it could be. Oh, remember last issue, that big dinosaur they dropped on Sin's head? And then he took its soul and then converted it into this beast. Well, he's brought it. That's pretty cool, actually. So he's got this thing down there attacking the Bat Cove. There's our villain, Lord Sin, looking very much like someone else. Not like someone else, but reminiscent. I don't know. So, we got the heroes trying to figure out what they're going to do. I'm looking forward to this. I don't really like miniseries, but when you have a special reason to do, this is a special reason to do miniseries. I should do a video on on that. I don't like when they do miniseries that should have just been in the normal comic run. There's like, with this excuse to sell a separate comic. But when this obviously could not be a detective comic, it would be like, what? Why is this this is a special story done in a special format? Like, that's why you do miniseries. All right, so we got Lord Sin commanding his minions, and they're fighting. That's all good. And more fighting. If this comic's got action, one thing I can't complain about this comic is that nothing happening. If you go back and read my review or watch my review on Superman 2, Superman 1, even, both of those, Superman 1 and 2, and how Bendis just draws this book out and nothing really happens. This book does not have that. A lot of stuff is happening. This is a book for people like Zach, our boy Zach, Richard Meyer, DNC. He likes stuff to happen. He does not like just a bunch of dialogue, blah, 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 talky. He wants characters going on adventures, fighting bad guys, resolving conflict. This has got it in spades. Now, is it excellently executed? Not really. It's average execution. So that's not bad, but it's not good either. Speaking of excellence in execution. So we get the fight. And I'm just trying to kind of blast through here because fighting isn't important. You get the gist that they're fighting. You should be reading the comic if you want to experience it all for yourself. They manage to teleport. He goes through some gobbledygook explanation of how he is bending of materials and blah, blah, blah. He gets rid of Lord Sin and his minions by doing his thing. Here, I'll give you an example. What? The army just vanished. The lights already crossed the horizon. Neon sent them. I changed them. Couldn't let Sin get more of the isotope. Transformed them and its radiation into light and bounced them across the atmosphere. Probably my greatest work, but the clock's still ticking. Can't hold the harbor back much longer. Sin might have drawn enough energy out of the isotope to hold off a full detonation, but the isotope's still active, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you get the point. So he did his wizardry and got rid of the bad guy for a time being. Again, just pushing off the inevitable. The conflict's definitely not over. The bad guy will be back. True comic book fashion, right? You can't ever really defeat the bad guy. All you can kind of do is stop them for a while. So, we get some mention about how they need to get some more answers. Of course, that's why they came here. They don't have it. Signal, Huntress said to someone else who's dealt with the metal outside of her reality, I know I get hot too easy. I'm sorry I brought this to your door. Tell us where to find him and you won't see us again. He's a mystery, even to himself. But somewhere in there you could find the answers you need. The birds of prey have watched him since he crawled back from the dark multiverse. Okay, well, who's that? What's going on? Alright, meanwhile, hope you like heights. Oh, my lord. And they're all falling, da da da, and they can't fly. Hell, blah, blah, and they all crash. Ow, that looks really painful. So now we know what happened to the bad guy. He says you have failed, there's a price, you know what the price is, Vader style, they're all gonna die. At least I assume they don't show that, but then we go, Bavarian Alps later. Oh, I didn't hear you down there. You're wondering why here, but despite appearances, I couldn't always fly. I know it, but I don't remember. I thought I might help, work with my hands, muscles, memory. My memory is that's why I'm here. Tracking echoes of the past. I'm hunting. And maybe you don't know, but these days, Hawkman flies solo. So what are you two doing here? So here's the guy who crawled back. I'm very interested in this. I was pretty stoked to see Hawkman, even though I've always thought Hawkman was silly and stupid. I say this out of prejudice. Any Hawkman fans out there, I don't know what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, the reason I got kind of excited about this is because I've been hearing such good things about Hawkman, and because Superman's been letting me down with Bendis, and there's the 2 titles I get to drop, and because DC's deciding they're going to cancel Green Lantern and do it all stuff, I'm like, I got comics I can buy. What should I do? Oh, you're canceling everything I like. Oh, you're canceling Immortal Man. Venditti's doing Hawkman. Everyone's saying it's good. Hey, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot because you never know. Sometimes the things you thought were stupid turn out to be the things you like the best. And the fact that it's relating into a comic book I like, I'm kind of excited. So Wednesday, I'm going to see if I can pick up Hawkman 1 through 3. I was down there last week and they had issues 2 and 3 with the alternate covers. That's another thing. Their alternate covers for Hawkman are dope. I did not see issue 1, but I think I might be able to find it. And that's the comic. So I've been rambling on here. I'm a fan of The Unexpected. This is probably my least favorite issue of the series so far. It's kind of a filler issue, stretching the story along. I think Cary Nord is probably doing another side project simultaneously and just did not put the time in that he normally would. I don't know what's going on over there at DC. There's definitely some shuffling. I know some of the New Age books are getting canceled, like Immortal Men, which I think is one of their top-selling books. It's definitely the one I see the most when it comes to like fan readership, like posting and Move the Needle and stuff. I see that more than, except Silencer, maybe not Silencer. But I don't know why that book's going. Anyways, this book I like, not because it's great. It is kind of a run-of-the-mill, but I don't say that as a bad thing. I mean like run-of-the-mill, like this would be a run-of-the-mill 90s comic, okay? I remember when I was collecting comics back in the late 80s and 90s, one of the comics I bought was Iron Man. Everyone today thinks Iron Man is just like, oh, it's one of the big shot Marvel titles. No, it was C-list Marvel. Like back then, it was just like, Iron Man, you know, like his comics were never great. But usually they weren't bad either. They were just that run-of-the-mill. And if you liked Iron Man, you got your monthly entertainment. You didn't complain. But when you went and read like a good comic like X-Men, you realized, yeah, Iron Man is just not, they're not putting their top talent on that. This is one of those books too. It's like, this is not their top talent. This is not their big effort. But it's not a bad book. And if this is something that interests you, I don't want to steer anyone off because of one, you know, not so great issue out of the series so far. I like it. If it interests you, I'd say pick it up, give it a shot. It's still cheap, $2.99. It's one issue that's never going to steer me off. I look forward to this every. I think it's monthly, or I can't ever even tell these days what's monthly or bi-weekly. But every time it comes out, I look forward to reading it, seeing where the story's going, and that's a good thing. So, mild move the needle recommendation. Yeah. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. Comments below. I love hearing comments. I always try to respond to comments. I love just being part of the conversation. My views, as always, are not expert comic opinions. I don't try to come at you as a super comic snob or know-it-all. I just come at you as someone who's liked comics for a long time, has my thoughts and feelings on it, and like to hear what other people's thoughts and feelings and share perspectives. And that's it. So, thanks for your time for watching. Hope to see you again. I'll be posting my pull list tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any ideas on things to fill my subscription holes with, let me know. Thanks. Bye.